Star 101.3.
This is a proud moment. Who cut school today? Who cut school? She's got one. She's like, I'm the one. Who ducked out of work today? Anybody working from home today? Oh, God. How much do we love 2014 telecommuting? How you holding up, Sandy?
I'm doing good. How are you holding up?
Sandy's got a huge smile on her face today.
No, this guy. We'll go over it later, but I don't. Between all of you and him, I don't know who's a bigger fan of John Legend. I mean, this is a huge artist. We're excited.
It's time to bring him in.
Is it ready?
Oh, he's coming in, you guys.
We're going right now.
I know you reserved the applause for us because you want to make it happen right now. Please bring in to the VIP lounge here at Star 101.3, Mr. John Legend.
What's up, everybody? How are you?
It just hit everyone that this is actually happening.
It just hit me, too.
This is a fun moment for me because the first time that I heard your new song, and I've been a fan for a while, and when I saw it on the playlist, I was about to play it, and I'm like, oh, John Legend, it's got to be good. That was my first thought, it's got to be good. I know, no pressure, right? And then I heard it, and things get a little crazy in the studio when your song comes on.
Okay, let me just say, this is what happens. He's totally downplaying it. Marcus is running the board, and I'm across from him. We're co-hosts. Yes. Your song comes on. He tells me to shut up. And he goes, hold on, Sandy, hold on, shh. And then he sings with your song, and I don't know who he is for about 3.5 minutes. He
How does he sound?
Himself in the music.
How does he sound?
Well, he's no John Legend. Let's just say it that way.
Wow.
But
like that.
I'm sorry.
So here's what happens. The headphones come on, and the first time I heard it, I was like, where did this song come from? Because the first thought was, this song comes from the heart.
Yeah, it does.
And you wrote it about who now?
I wrote it about my wife.
Yeah.
And I wrote it before we got married, but I wrote it about really what it's like to be in love because if you listen to the lyric, I talk about even when you lose, you're winning, and how love is like give and take, and in some ways it's kind of crazy to be in love.
Right.
And in some ways it's kind of irrational. And that's what the song is really about. And I think the reason why it connects with people is because people that have been in love know what that feels like, and they get that. My
favorite lyric is, "You're crazy and I'm out of my mind."
Yeah.
And for those of us who know who your wife is, she's pretty outspoken.
Yeah.
And you can't call the woman crazy in the wrong context.
No. I think you have to say you're out of your mind at the same time.
So it's that moment in the song where I will literally, my wife and I turn into 15-year-olds. She's sitting right over there, and I'll literally be texting her, "You're crazy, and I'm out of my mind." Send. And something happened, not necessarily with that song, but I was watching an interview with you from like April when you were just talking about, hey, I got this new song coming out.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about playing it at my wedding, and I'm thinking it might be a big wedding song.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, man. Like, that's going to be the wedding song of the summer. I'm actually upset it didn't come out in 2012 when we got married.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It came out just in time for my wedding.
Oh, funny how that works
Very
out.
convenient.
Funny how that works out. Well, I do have something I need to blame you for.
What's that?
We haven't announced this yet, and it's going to this room only. We have not put this on the air yet, but my wife's sitting over there, and most of this is my fault, but I also have to blame some of your music because she's pregnant. Maybe can you stand up real quick?
Congratulations.
Yeah. So I blame John Legend's music. Any of you proceed with caution.
Nothing to blame. It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. So thank you for that moment.
Be fruitful and multiply.
Can we make that into a hashtag t-shirt, please? Did you end up singing it at your wedding?
Yeah, I did. I sang it at the wedding, and then I was just the opening act for Stevie Wonder because he ended up coming up and doing an impromptu song as well. So it was pretty cool.
At your wedding, you were the opening act for Stevie Wonder.
Yes.
I was going to say because the only other person that I know of that maybe you opened for was Sade.
Yeah. Well, I opened for Alicia Keys back in the day, too.
Okay. But not that many people.
Yeah, I don't open for very many people. Yeah. No. I usually have people open for me.
That's right.
At what point did you know, I'm going to be a performer, this is what I'm going to do?
Well, I wanted to do it when I was a kid. you know, we have American Idol now, but for us, when we were younger, it was Star Search. I don't know if you guys are my age.
Absolutely.
Ed McMahon.
And so I would watch Ed McMahon and all these, and a lot of those big stars that are around today started on Star Search. And I watched Ed McMahon, and I wanted to be on that show. And I always believed that I would get discovered one of these days. But that was when I was like 7, 8, 9 years old.
Sure.
And I didn't know what it took to actually become a recording artist. I just thought if you could sing, somebody would find you and sign you to a record deal.
Right.
But I began to write songs when I was a pretty young kid. And I've been preparing for this moment for all my life, really.
Do you feel like this song is exposing you to more people that might not have been familiar before?
Well, this is the biggest hit of my career so far. You know, I've had success with, you know, my 3 previous solo albums. Ordinary People obviously was a pretty big song. And Green Light was a big song. Tonight, The Best You Ever Had, I did from the Think Like a Man movie, was a pretty big song too, but this one's bigger than all of them. And it's playing on radio formats that I've never been played on before as well.
Right.
Not to get into industry speak too much.
Real quick, though, you guys need to know this. As industry speak as we're going to get, it was just announced today that your song is going to chart in 6 different formats. Yeah. 6 different music formats. You guys
which is brand new for me. I've never had a song to do that. Yeah.
It's like your song and Pharrell. Did you guys get on? Did you get on and high five each other on Skype?
You know, we run into each other a lot because we're both at the Grammys.
Right.
We'll both be at the Oscars on Sunday, and we were both on the same record label, and so we run into each other very often. We work together. Actually, he produced one of the bonus tracks on this album.
Okay, cool.
So we work together, and I just love Pharrell, and I'm so happy for him. I think he's such a phenomenal person and a phenomenal artist, and I'm happy that we're both having a really successful moment in our careers.
Could you
right
describe
now.
him as a man crush? You might be Marcus's man crush. I'm telling you that. So, like, are there artists that you look up to that you're like, man, you're awesome. I wish I could be more like you.
I think Jay-Z is probably my biggest male role model as far as other artists like in the business right now. I feel like I just love his whole his talent and the way he's succeeded as a business person. I just feel like if there's one guy I want to be like that's around right now, I feel like he's one of them.
Do you still have a moment where you're awestruck? If it's you and Kanye and Jay-Z and Pharrell all hanging out in a room together, you just drinking or whatever, do you look back and go, dang, let's just take a selfie. Just
No, I'm so used to seeing those guys.
Right.
I don't get too excited, but I think it's more exciting when I meet people that I haven't really spent a lot of time around.
Sure.
You know, when I met Prince, I was pretty astounded. When I met Michael Jackson, when I met Paul McCartney, those are people that I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm with these people right now.
Once you get them in the cell phone, that's a big deal too.
Yeah, I try not to ask too often, but I did get a photo of me and my cell phone with Michael Jackson. That was pretty crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, you and your wife are both public figures, you know?
Sure.
And she's a beautiful, you guys have seen his wife, Chrissy. She's incredible, beautiful. On the cover of Martha Stewart Wedding and Sports Illustrated at the same time.
Yes.
Best of both worlds.
Yes, one fully clothed, one barely clothed.
When you got the Sports Illustrated in the mail, did you look at it and just go, well, I win?
I was very proud.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the truth. I was very happy for her, and it's such a big moment in her career. For a model, that's such a massive thing to get.
Sure.
There's really no other cover that's as iconic in the field of work that she does.
Right.
And so it's pretty great.
I thought it was interesting, though. She's a swimsuit model, if you guys don't know this, who can't swim.
Me neither. I can barely swim.
And you can't swim either.
Yeah.
She did look very comfortable on the cover of the magazine, hanging out with her friends on the shore.
Yes, and she swam in my video, All of Me.
And yeah, got underwater in the All of Me video.
But the pool was pretty shallow.
Yeah.
So when you guys are at home, you wear floaties and slippers.
We don't have a pool. Maybe we need to get a pool so we can learn how to swim.
That's your next step, yeah.
I want to talk about the album really quick. Obviously, All of Me, the album called Love in the Future.
Yes.
But the song that hit me the hardest, like I heard All of Me, I was like, oh, that's our song. And then I heard a song called Made for Love.
Yeah.
And then I was going to call my wife and go, I was just kidding about that other song. It's a more up-tempo.
Yeah, it's more up-tempo.
There's a lot of power behind it. And the message of the song is, I was put on this earth to love you.
Yeah. And we were, and also, in not only that, but also part of my whole like message in that song is that we were all made to love.
Right.
And like, I'm trying to spread love with this whole album and make people feel that connection. And that song really says that. And it's so beautiful, the collaboration between me and Kimbra. Kimbra's singing the vocal on that.
She was on the Gautier song, is that right?
She was on Somebody I Used to Know. And she's a really phenomenal artist from New Zealand. And the beat and everything about it is just so, it feels so like natural and powerful. And it's one of my favorite songs on the album.
For those of you local here in the Bay, just a public service announcement, don't ever crank that song in your car going down 280. You will hit 90 miles an hour. Not that I would know. Sorry, my wife's sitting right
Drive
here.
safely.
Not that I would know. She's giving me the look.
What about as far as like being in the public eye? Because I always think about social media and, you know, Twitter and all that stuff. How do you guys not like have a breakdown? One, as individuals, two, as a couple.
I think you get used to it after a while, actually. You just, you get used to losing some of your privacy. You get used to getting some negative feedback, too, because we all get it. And you guys probably think my life is so good, but people say really mean things to me every single day. Somebody does.
Right.
And particularly women, I think, get it harder. I notice it with my wife, and I think in general with women. People are just really mean to women sometimes. I don't really understand that. It's like a lot of times it's men that are just really misogynistic and will say like really completely hurtful things to women. I just don't get how you can like go to bed at night and think I'm that kind of person that will say something that'll really make a woman feel like crap. And guys do that all the time on Twitter, and I think anonymity makes people feel like they can do that all the time. But it's really just a nasty thing to do, and I feel like, you know, like, just don't be that person. Anyway, we just have to get used to it. And
how does she keep you in check?
Oh, she's
We were
feisty.
talking about that this week. She's very feisty.
We actually talked about infidelity this morning, or guys. What was the other one? Oh, how have you trained your man without him even knowing?
Yeah, like what? Did you have a habit that she's like, no more of this? Like anything around the house or anything?
Well, we have the classic put the toilet seat down thing. It's so cliche, but apparently women care about this. I don't know why they can't just put it down if it's up. It's like really not that hard, but the same argument happens in every house. It's like we're just trained differently.
Yeah.
So when you and your wife...
So I'm trying. I do put it down most of the time.
All right. Yeah. He's trying. Like, give him a break.
I'm at like 80% now.
All right. That's good. It's better than 50.
So when you and your wife met, I understand it was at a party. Is that right?
No, we met at a video shoot.
Oh, it was a video shoot. That's right.
Yeah.
And did you have a moment where you're like, there's no way I could get that girl? Or was it like, I'm John Legend? Did you just walk up, say your name, and stand there and wait?
Well, no, we were scripted to be very close to each other in the video. So it was like...
that makes it even hotter.
It was a very unnatural, not traditional way of meeting somebody where you're like grinding on them in a video shoot. When you
and
just
then you're
said,
like, do you want to do
hi,
coffee
nice
later?
to meet you. So, not everybody's going to be that lucky to just get set up like that. But, my friend Nabil, who actually directed the video for all of me and is a brilliant director and photographer, he knew her and he had worked with her before on a Billabong shoot, which is the surfwear company. He was like, you're really going to like this girl. I'm going to cast her in this video if it's okay. And I think you guys are going to hit it off. And we did.
Did you have to preview the profile?
Yeah, I looked at some photos. I was like, yeah, this will work.
Her?
No, he showed me photos, and I was like, yeah.
Did she know anything about you beforehand?
She knew I was, but she wasn't like a huge fan of mine before. No.
Do you think that's better, though?
I think it could go either way, but I don't think it hurt us one way or the other that she wasn't like a super fan before.
Right. I want to direct the next question and just everybody that's tuning in or watching the live web stream. This is actually your first visit in the Bay. You got a bunch of people to see today, but we're your first ones.
I'm the first visit of the day. You're my first visit of the day.
So privileged, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
How exciting is this? Want to thank you for coming to visit Star 1013, but for everybody who's just now getting to know your music, obviously a lot of John Legend fans out there that will just come and see you and whenever. And Were you content to be that guy that could just sell out your shows, sell your music to your fans? When you wrote this song, I have to imagine you listened to it in the headphones and went, oh God, this is a big one. Did you call your wife and apologize for all the onslaught of paparazzi?
You know, I thought this song was really nice when I finished it, but I didn't know if it was going to be massive until I started playing it for other people. Mm-hmm. And then you could see, because I played a lot of my songs for other people, and most of them people were like, yeah, this is really great. Mm-hmm. But you could see the difference in the reaction. And I told everybody around me, I was like, this song's going to be big, and it's going to be at least as big as Ordinary People, because Ordinary People was the last song that I did that had that kind of universal, like, oh my God reaction. Sure. And Ordinary People was when I was brand new. And so I think if Ordinary People would have come out now, when people already know who I am, it probably would be as big as All of Me, or around the same.
If that was your follow-up to All of Me, for example.
Yeah, but I think because I was brand new at the time, a lot of people still didn't know who I was, and so it didn't have the chance to grow in the same way. But I just played it for a lot of people, and the reaction was so emotional. I would have people in the music business start crying. You know, people that are like jaded and, you know, hear new music all the time. And they would start crying when they heard All of Me. And so I just felt like, yeah, this one's going to be special. And it is. It's just working out.
Some of us throw the headphones on and tell the rest of the room to shut up. Honestly.
He goes into another dimension. I don't know who he is when your song comes on. It's cute. By the way, he has 3 other outfits for today, just in case this one didn't work out. That's how excited Marcus was about today.
It's because I knew
that's
John.
A great outfit for radio.
You know what?
I'm playing.
I'm getting clowned.
I'm playing.
I want to see how many people in the audience survived college just because they discovered John Legend's music back in the day. I know we've got a couple of diehards over here. Who's just discovering John for like the first time and wants to go back? Can't wait to get in and start listening to like Get Lifted and the other albums. We got a bunch of people here.
They're like, no, we already know.
They're mesmerized.
Well, we know your tour does start in March, right?
Yeah.
And
yes.
It's a totally stripped down tour.
Yes, it's called the All of Me Tour, actually, and it's very stripped down. A lot of it will just be me on the piano, telling stories, singing songs. I'm bringing out a string quartet and a guitarist. So it's going to be really like...
That's going to be something.
Beautiful and intimate, and we've already been rehearsing, and I feel really good about it. I think you guys are going to love it.
Coming back to the Bay in April 30th?
Yeah, I'll be in Berkeley.
March 30th.
March 30th.
Hall.
I'll be in Modesto. I'll be... is that close to here, too?
You're gonna, yes. But we'll take Berkeley.
And there's like 3 cities around here I think I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody checking out the stream at 1013.com. We appreciate it. John Legend, first performance in the Bay today with Star 1013. You guys ready?
Thank you.
Dude, absolute pleasure.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.